Okay, so we just saw an example of lists here with the G, H, J, and K. Now let's read what he says. Lists are the most complex of the R data types. Basically, a list is an ordered collection of objects, So we have these objects, and we put them into a list so we can talk about the first object, the second object, the third object. So he's saying these are objects. So matrix is an object, this vector is an object. So we have this collection of these objects, which we can say are ordered because this will be the first one, and this will be the second one, and so on. A list allows you to gather a variety of possibly unrelated, not always, doesn't have to be, objects under one name. So we give it the name my list or whatever list you want. But you can put all these unrelated things into this one, under one name. Okay, for example, a list may contain a combination of vectors, matrices, even data frames, and even other lists. So, now I could take this thing, which is a list, and make another list, and this could be like the first element of that new list. So it sounds a little strange, but you can do that if you want, if you needed to. So it's a combination of vectors and matrices, and anything can go into a list. That's why they're important, I guess. You can create a list using the list function, and here's the example, where the objects are any of the structures seen so far. Optionally, you can name the objects in a list. So you can give the first one name 1, which we did somewhere, title, and the second one name 2, and so on. Okay? Now what happens when you print out the list? So it prints out like this. First of all, if there's a name for the object, then or the first element of the list, then it gives that name with the $sign in front, which suggests what? That you could access it sort of like we access in the same way that we access this. When did we see this before? With the data frame, right? When we had a data frame, we could access it we could access a variable or a column this way, right? So we'd give the data frame name first, and then $sign, and then the column name or the variable name next. Okay? And here we show the first element, and it's giving it to me kind of like as though it was a vector, putting the 1 in front. Ages, same thing, kind of treating it like a vector. Well, it is a vector, right? This is a vector, and this is a vector, so it does treat it like a vector. Now the third object or third element of the list is a matrix, and it gives it this, it refers to it this way, and it prints it out like this. So this one references the matrix, and then this one 4 references this vector here, right, like that. Okay, now let's look at my list 2. Now this doesn't look like. Let's look at my list 2. Now 2, we saw the second element, so it's this vector. And what does it do when we do my list 2? So let me say that again. So 2 is here, right? This is the second vector. So we are probably referencing that. And what does it do when we write my list 2 with these double brackets here? So it gives us those elements. And also we can do my list. So in other words, here the example is showing that you can do 2 in there, Or you can use ages in there. So like ages was the name that we gave, and so you can reference it that way or with the 2. Okay, now I don't think we've seen this double square bracket yet, right? But here we have an example of it. And let me stop the video here and then address this question of what this double square bracket is doing.